This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yeah, hey, welcome America, that's right. Welcome to Home Talk USA right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network. You are listening to the Invent America segment of Home Talk USA, along with my sidekick and co-host, the Inventor Lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. She didn't have to go far because if you was listening to last hour, she was the guest on Home Talk USA, so basically, she just had to switch chairs. But you're in the chair now, Rita?
I am. I'm in the right chair now.
It's like musical chairs. Okay.
Well, you know, when your music plays, I always want to get up and dance around my chair. So that's
yeah, that's right. So we want to make it fun here, and that's what we're trying to do. But hey, welcome, Rita. Wow, we've got a lot going on, got some trade shows going on, but you want to talk about this particular segment of the Invent America show. It's something, our guests, our topics, it's something that it's never been done before, so why don't you explain that to our audience?
Well, I'll get inventors who call me up, and they'll be telling me about what they think they're going to file a patent on and going to market, and I'm thinking, oh, let me ask you a few questions first. And when we get down through it, it's like, you know, when you tell me it's never been done before, there's a lot of times that we do find it. It may be in another country. But just because there's not a patent filed or a product that you can find, a lot of times someone has tried that. And so we want to be able to help those inventors out there at a very early stage make better business decisions by saying, you might want to move on to your next idea. Because this one has been, even though it's not in the marketplace, there's a reason why. It's not a very good idea.
Yeah, that's true, because I never forget, there was, about 10 years ago, a guy came up with something that had to do with measuring wood, you know, to cut it, and it just wasn't a good, because you could buy multi-purpose rulers to do that. It's a type of ruler, but it was just when I saw it, it was like. But he invested $40,000-$50,000. Somebody could have stopped him and said, "Hey, you know." But you're right. Some of the ideas might be not there yet, but maybe there's a reason why. You know.
Exactly. I had one gentleman, he came and he had a company out there, one of those scoundrel ones that we've talked about, file a patent for him. And when I looked at it, all they had were renderings. He could not afford to do a prototype. And it was a toothbrush that in the handle, it was broken into two parts. One you could fill with water, and one you could fill with toothpaste. And then you could travel with it like that. It's like, ooh, and no. One, there was only enough water in it for one use, but you'd put enough toothpaste in it for a week. And, every time the water drained out of it, now you'd have to have a source of water, which you could have actually just used a water fountain and a cup where it would have been clean. And so it's like, there's a reason why this doesn't work. And when he actually then got a good search done, there were several times it had been tried, but it never made it to market. And there is a reason. So, what we do is we try to work inventors through, and I try to say, all right, go here and ask these questions.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
And that helps them so that I'm not saying, that's a really bad idea, but they're able to talk to other professionals who are going to tell them, it's like, we saw this, someone tried this 10 years ago. This wouldn't work here because. So then they're hearing it from a professional in their industry as opposed to, me when I tell them, there's a reason why this should not be patented or in the marketplace. And it carries more weight when they're hearing it from a professional in their industry.
Yeah, great job. Well, tell us a little bit about some of the guests again, you said?
Yeah, our first guests are Ted and Lori Garcia. They are professional artists, and they have had a lot of ideas, and they're going to walk us through kind of their steps of going from, dozens of ideas kind of all over the place to what they feel are the three that have the most potential.
1, 2, 3.
And then we've got David Streen on. He's been a guest before on different topics.
Testing.
His company sells over 100 products. And some of them he's invented himself. They are all with the automotive industry, so he's very focused. And so what we want him to share with us today is kind of his selective process on what he says. Oh no, that's not going to, that's not going to fly, because he knows the industry. And that's, I had a lady years ago that said, well, I've developed a product for having a house off the grid. I said, well, what's your background? Did you go to engineering? Are you in,
it's maxed out
power
right now.
company? No, I'm a homemaker. It's like, go here and check
the
this.
right is.
And she called me back and she goes, yeah, okay, well, that's not going to happen. There's 1,000 of other people that have already done this, and they're further along than I am. I said, way to go. Move on to your next idea. But it saved her thousands of dollars and heartache thinking that, she could do this. So I look for things that are in people's, their own warehouse, kind of their own industry. Then our third guest is Michael Miller, and he has seen this from the same angle that I have, where he's actually reviewing products and telling somebody, although by the time they were going to see Michael, they had already spent their money on patents and prototypes, and he's got to be able to tell them, you should not have done this. At least when they're coming to me first and saying, I can say, go here and talk to these folks, and they can say, no, that should not be done, and you've just saved $50,000.
Wow. I tell you, not to say that I've been blessed to host this show and came up with the idea along with you, and but man, it would be a travesty to have a technology that's really good, and due to a financial situation because of the mistakes, that technology cannot get to market. That's the travesty of it, because you can waste a lot of money. I mean, there's a cost to making mistakes. That's the bottom line, right, Rita?
Yep, absolutely. I had a gentleman that called me Friday afternoon and told me he was already having prototypes made. I go, have you had your search done yet? And he goes, well, no. I said, have you talked to a registered patent attorney? Well, no. Well, so that engineer that's making that prototype is more than happy to redo it and fix any mistakes because of patentability. Yep. But you get to pay the bill again.
Yep, that's right. Well, hold on, Rita.
To avoid.
There's the music. Got to step away. All right, we're going to take a short break right here on the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. You're listening to Invent America, part of the HomeTalkUSA radio program, along with my co-hosts, my sidekick, the Inventor Lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Don't forget to visit our website at HomeTalkUSA.com. Catch the stream, catch the partners, upcoming guests and topics. Oh, by the way, if you do have a guest or topic, it's very simple. Just send me an email or a text, but you better email me at michaelking1350@yahoo.com. Tell me a little bit about the topic, and I'll do some research, and if it meets our criteria, we'd love to discuss that topic on this show. Hey, let's face it, this is your show. That's why we do this, to educate you, to guide you, to advise you on your home improvement projects. I am the Cajun Man, along with Miss Rita Crompton, the Inventor Lady. We'll be right back. Yay!
USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back. That's right. This is the Invent America show right here on the Home Talk USA radio network. We are streaming live on the World Wide Web at HomeTalkUSA.com and also the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. Rita, I tell you, I would make a comment right now and kill some time, but hey, we got a big show. You got a lot of guests and a lot of topics, so who's our first guest?
Our first guest, Ted and Lori Garcia. They are from Evergreen, Colorado. They've had their own business together for 25 years, and Ted is a fine artist and illustrator. Lori works as a graphic designer. And they have had a series of ideas over the years, and we're going to talk to them about how they have, broken it down to, so, the topic is, it's never been done before. Maybe there's a good reason. And so I specifically asked them to kind of share their story with us. And so, Lori, thank you for being with us today. And one of you, let me know talk about how you came up with so many ideas, and then what process did you do for your own research?
Well, over the years, we always think of things that could help or improve our lives in general, and stuff that we kind of make up ourselves thinking, wow, why don't they sell this in the stores? And so many times we have thought over and over about certain ideas, and the next thing we know, we see it on the shelf in the store. And it gets really frustrating. We're like, why don't we follow through with some of our ideas?
Yeah, I know. I understand. I had a lady call me, and she said, my grandson came up with that idea for putting lights in the soles of the tennis shoes. I want you to go after this company, and sue them because he came up with it first. It's like, did you file a patent on it? Well, no. Did you tell anybody about it? Well, no. Well, then it doesn't really count as coming up with it first because, it wasn't really out there. So, yes, I understand. I hear lots of inventors say, oh, I came up with that idea, and that's kind of what spurs them on to taking their next step is saying, okay, I've seen, some of my ideas get to market, and now I want to do it myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We got pretty far back in the day. I'll let Ted take over his process.
Okay. So, Ted, tell us about the process.
Well, when we first started into this, it was in the mid-'90s, a long time ago. So I would go to the library and search through the files that they had there for the patent office. And then here more recently, when we're starting to look for, make sure that we're not doing somebody else's idea, I'd go online and look at the USPTO and see if I could find there. But, everything's kind of limited on what I can do.
Yes. And I've heard a lot of people complain about the USPTO is a very difficult animal to navigate. And so, when you go through there, the thing a lot of people don't realize is that they want to search by keyword, but the USPTO is classified like a library. So you go into categories, classifications that you're looking through, and sometimes that's a tough one to navigate. But when you go through, there's a 2.5-year blind spot at the USPTO. So even doing that then, can still leave you exposed as far as, what's been out there. But it's a good place to start. That in the Google search, all right, there's a lot of times that videos show up and they're talking about people's different ideas. But you've narrowed down now dozens of ideas to your first 3. So what were the criteria that you were looking for?
Pretty much trying to start simple. We want to, do it or learn as we go. And so we kind of narrowed it down to the most simple top 3 ideas that we had. The most economical to create. Yeah, most economical to create that would pretty much we think costs the least to produce or manufacture. But we would like to go into the licensing first, just so we can kind of learn the process and what it takes to get a product out there as well.
Mainly because, we really don't want to give all of our time into patenting and just working on one project. We've got a lot that we'd like to put out there. So we don't really want to.
You've got kids, you've got a life, you're artists, all right, both of you. And it's, you live in Evergreen, so you're out in the forest. So you've got things that are going on besides just taking one product. You've got multiple products you want to get through there. And so picking the one that you've got that's got the biggest market potential, picking the one that, is going to be the least expensive to manufacture, those are all really good things, especially for a new inventor just getting started.
Correct.
Exactly. So we're kind of learning as we go here and taking it step by step. For a lot of inventors in your situation, they do want to license it. They want to get it into the hands of the professional that's going to make it, sell it, and send you a check. You get to go on to your next idea. And, there's a lot of inventors that have wonderful ideas, and they just, keep kicking them out the door and letting somebody else. The one gentleman that did Post-it note. All right, don't we wish we would have come up with that one? But he's a classic example of doing exactly this.
Exactly. We actually had one product that was somebody. I registered it, but it didn't. I didn't follow through with the patent, and somebody picked it up and ran with it, and it's in all Targets and stores around the nation.
Every time we see it, we get more frustrated and more of a desire to follow through with stuff.
Yeah. Don't you wish you would have been the guys that invented that little white plastic stick thing that fits inside of the pizza box?
Exactly.
They sold millions of those back in the day. He was from Denver, Colorado.
Yes.
We're jealous, yes.
Yes, no kidding. And sometimes those little things are the ones, the couple, it was a couple that invented the little individual creamer pack that you tear the top off that you find in all of the coffee shops now.
Yes.
That was just one. Yeah, that was just a couple just like you guys. Okay, so you are going to be the next time I talk to you, you're going to be going after that patent and getting those products developed, and I look forward to working with you. We are getting ready to take a break. Thank you so much, Lori and Ted, for being with us today. And we want to... If you're an inventor out there and you are ready to be on the radio show, please go to the HomeTalkUSA site, the inventamerica.info site. Fill out the form. It will drop right into my email box. If you're in the process and you need a new service provider, call me. Shoot me a text message, an email. I am happy to answer questions for you. But join us here on Invent America. And for all you guys listening out there, stick with us. We've got another guest coming up.
USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Hey, everybody. If you feel like you have missed one of our episodes, please go to inventamerica.info. You can find all of the topics there, and especially if you are an inventor and want to get caught up on one of the topics, everything is listed with all of our guests and their websites. So our next guest today is David Streen. David has got Wedge Light, one of more than 100 products that he's got on his website. And he is very qualified to help new inventors make better choices and avoid the costly pitfalls. So, Dave, thank you so much for being on with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me. Great.
So, you've got lots of products on your website, and how do you decide which products to patent, which products to just sell?
So, if money was no object, I'd say patent everything and protect everything, But since it isn't unlimited in my world, I really have to be selective on what I'm going to patent. And because I can use that same budget towards marketing and be first to market, which may sell a lot more product for me. So if something, especially if it's a short-lived product that's only going to be viable for a year or 3 years or something, I won't mess with the patent process. If it's something that is going to serve a large industry for a long time, that's when I'm going to start looking to go down that road, because it is a lengthy process, as you know, to get full-blown patents and stuff. But they've made it, with the utility, the provisional patent, I get confused on these sometimes. You can get some protection right away so that you can get to market with some protection and see if it's going to be as good as a home run as you think it's going to be or hope it's going to be. And then if it is, you've got a little over a year to apply for the larger patents. So you can save some money and some time by taking that quicker route.
And that's one of the things that we will do frequently is that, we'll get somebody, they file the provisional patent application. It's 12 months is all you get with it. But then they'll go to, like, the National Hardware Show with us to test the marketplace. And if they're getting then good feedback, people are excited about it, they know to go ahead and take the next step. And you were dead on when you said, certain products have a very short lifespan. The one we see frequently with the shortest lifespan is an app.
Yep.
Because technology changes so fast. And so they say, oh, you never file a patent with an app, or for an app. And that's a tough one. Now, if you've got a software or an app that is working with hardware, it's a different set of analysis. Because that's going to last longer. It's like, the doorbell that now rings on your phone and stuff. So it's got some hardware that goes with it. Tools, the tool patents last almost the entire lifespan before something comes on board. So really looking at the technology and how fast it changes is critical. You were dead on with that.
Yeah. And it's also something to be aware of is even if you're not going to do the patent process, make sure you do the due diligence to make sure that what you're bringing to market isn't already protected by somebody else's patent. I see a lot of inventors go down that road where they do all the R&D, they get it fully, built and promoted, and then they find out that somebody else owns the patent rights to something that they just developed. So doing that prior art search can save a lot of headaches in the long run.
Exactly. I know people will ask me, well, what does prior art mean? And we use public domain as well. If it's in the public domain, you don't, well, what does that mean? It means if it's out there and we can find it, it is part of the public domain. And a lot of inventors, they don't realize that. But getting a cease and desist letter is not a fun thing to get.
No, exactly. Especially if you put all your eggs in that basket.
I know, right? We've got SearchQuest patents that will do that patent search and product search, and it's $499 to get that comprehensive worldwide search done. And I've had inventors say, oh, my God, that was the best money I ever spent because this product has been done about 3 different ways in 3 different countries. And so I'm going to move on to my next idea. Yeah.
And the other side of the coin to what I mentioned earlier is I try to now only develop products that are worthy of being patentable because I'm trying to play a little bigger game and stuff. So it's if I kind of look at a product and say, it's not really worth the time and money to patent, well, then is it really worth the time and money to bring it to market? And sometimes it's a yes still, but it's just another filter to kind of look at my products that I'm bringing to market and scrutinize them a little bit more carefully.
So are there other criteria that you use in determining which ones to go ahead and file the patent on and take to market and which ones you just let go?
And a few of mine I've let go. So I've learned that when I develop something that's too unique, it's just too much of an uphill battle to explain it to people, what it does, what the benefits are, and everything else. So like with the wedge light, for example, it's everybody in the automotive industry knows what a window wedge is. Spread the belt molding on the door open so we can get locksmith tools down there or dent repair tools down there or anything. So anybody that uses a wedge already knows what it is. So adding the feature that it lights up, they see it, they get it, they want it. Whereas other products, nobody would have, even professionals wouldn't have any idea what this thing is until I explain it to them. And that costs a lot of time and money in marketing to explain what it's going to do for them. So
exactly.
I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but if they see it and get it, that's one to proceed with.
If it's a better way of doing something, if it's a better widget, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
If it's if you're solving a problem that nobody knew they had, now you've got to pay a lot of money to teach them they have this problem, and then you can sell them the thing to solve the problem. But that's a tough road. But the better widget is the better thing.
Perfect. Yep.
And so I want to thank you so much for being with us today. Your insight is always valuable, and we will have you on again. And for all of our listeners out there, we want to thank the GCN Network for having us. And we want to encourage you to go to the inventamerica.info website, get caught up on some of those back episodes, and fill out the application to be on the show. It is free for all of our inventors. So join us.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Dave. Bye-bye.
Bye.
USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Hey, everybody. If you are an inventor out there or you know an inventor out there who's got a product that would do well at the National Hardware Show, which is basically the big box show, anything that would go at the Home Depot, Target, Walmart, and they would like to go as an inventor, please have them get in touch with me. Our next guest is Michael Miller. He's been on several times with us before. He is our industry expert. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome, Rita. Thank you.
So our topic today, I know this got a good laugh from you when I talked to you last week, is it's never been done before, and there may be a really good reason. And so I know that over the years you have just seen a lot of things out there. So share with us a couple of those experiences where an inventor showed you something and you think, oh, my goodness.
Absolutely. One comes to the top of mind right off the bat, and that would be a toilet seat lifter. And I'm sure everyone's seen on toilet seats, there's a little round little knob on the side of the seat. Honestly, you won't find those in the stores. Some of the companies have added them to the toilet seats, and I literally would see 2, sometimes 4 of those a month that people were looking at trying to move forward with. It's just something not really needed in the marketplace. So there's products like that out there.
I'm sure there are many products out there. And you know how many different products that I have seen are how to pick up, dog leftovers in the yard. It's
absolutely.
How many different ways can you pick up dog excrement? You pick it up, you put it in a plastic bag, you throw it away. The disposable, the bags that are, friendly bags, environmentally friendly, that's a good thing. But on the other hand, how many different ways do you need to pick it up? So when I see one of those come in the door, it's like, you know what? Unless it's going to run around like a robot and do it for me, I've already got it covered with the plastic bags.
You're absolutely right. And there's an awful lot of products that people look at. For instance, they go, wow, how come my shower is not putting out enough water? Well, there's regulations regarding how much water can come out of a shower. And so there's products like that from a regulatory standpoint, you can't invent around that. So, yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah. So for an inventor, somebody just getting started, give them a couple of hints on what they should let go.
Yeah, one of the very first things that you should do as an inventor is it definitely would help you to go in and talk to the associates at the stores. Go to the Lowe's, the Home Depots, the Walmarts, and many of those stores have, and Ace is another great one. A lot of times they hire retired builders, industry experts, plumbers, construction people, all different walks of life, and talk to them about, you could talk around the product or the type of solution that you might have, and they'll give you a pretty good idea whether that's something that is looked for in the marketplace or that would be a great fit in the marketplace.
Yeah, when I'm talking to an inventor early on, they haven't put as much money into it generally because I'm talking to them frequently before they filed a patent. And so I can help guide them some. But how do you tell an inventor when you see something and you just know it's not going to make it? How do you guide them?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How do you guide an inventor when you see their product and you know that they've just put tens of thousands of dollars into it? How do you guide them and say, you need to stop?
You know what? In many cases, I will actually go and do like a Google picture search right then and there. And because I already know it's going to be out there or it's not really something that's going to be needed, and then share that with them immediately and just let them know, this is going to be difficult.
Yep, I did the same thing a few years ago. I said, you might want to buy that one on Amazon for $24.95. It's going to be a lot faster and a lot cheaper.
Yep, I just had an inventor a couple days ago. That was exactly it.
Yep. So anyway, Michael, thank you so much. I hear that music playing. We've got to go pay some bills, and we will get you on again. Thank you.
No problem, Rita. You have a great day.
HomeTalkUSA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like HomeTalk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Hey, everybody. This is Invent America because America invents. We want to thank you for being with us today, and so many thanks to Genesis Communication Network for taking good care of us, and to our sponsors, Kicker Design. If you need a manufacturer's prototype and manufacturing, they're the guys to go to. And if you're just in the beginning stages, CAD Design, he will help you get that first rapid prototype done and get you teed up. So anyway, we have got great service providers, patent attorneys. If you need anything out there, you let us know because we are here to help you. If you are an inventor and you would like to be on the show, please fill out the form. We are always looking for inventors to join us on the radio show. It's free. The form is on the website. Invent America says, do you want to be on? The answer is yes. Your information will fall right into my email box. And again, sign up for the National Hardware Show and join every weekend here on Invent America, part of the Home Talk USA family. And thank you to our Cajun contractors.
Home Talk USA with Michael King is produced by Home Talk Media in association with King's Broadcasting Network and Genesis Communications Network. Broadcast and streamed live from the great state of Louisiana. Host and producer, the Cajun contractor, Michael King. Executive producer, Michael Mellinson. Affiliate and sponsor relations, Joe Spera. Comptroller, Sheila Gregoire. Assistant producer, Christian Bethencourt. Board operators provided by Genesis Communications Network. And I'm your announcer, Kevin McCarthy. Music includes King's Creole by Prolific Arts, Cajun Jam by StockMusic.com, and Zydeco City by Steve Rice. Home Talk USA with Michael King is sponsored by Bonide, pest solutions for your home, garden, and lawn. Decorators, take outdoor living beyond ordinary. Aztec Washer, innovative roofing solutions. Seal it right, seal it tight. Trimislab, replace rotten or missing wood with Trimislab expansion joint repair. Masonry Cosmetics, change the color of any porous masonry with proven masonry staining. Green Products Company, #1 in wood preservatives. Preserve, protect, and clean what you value, and most of all, make it last. Bond Products, manufacturers of InstaBind, the world's first do-it-yourself carpet binding solution. Deckrite, life is tough. Make your exterior flooring tougher. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Home Talk USA with Michael King. Until next time, visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com.
Yay!